Ciao friends and welcome back to 2 Ted. Today I want to talk about engine suppliers, the most fascinating thing in F1. It isn't, but stick with me. Before we get started, I've noticed that 3/4 of you aren't yet subscribed. I know it's a new channel, but it would really help me out. Thanks a lot. In 2020, Honda became the first engine supplier to win with two teams in one season since the turbo hybrid regulations came in at the beginning of the 2014 season. Before that, only Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes had even won races, and AlphaTauri became the fourth team to win one in the hybrid era. But seemingly mere moments after they win their race with AlphaTauri, Honda decided that they were going to pull out of Formula 1. This is a thing they do the second the economy goes to even slightly like this. This is Honda's fourth time pulling out of F1, I'm pretty sure. Notably, they left at the end of 1992, even though they were being very successful as McLaren's engine supplier. And they pulled out after 2008, and their would-be 2009 car became the Brawn that won the championship. And now they're pulling out again at the end of this year. It seems like every time Honda start to get successful, the world economy starts to go a bit shit and then they leave. So, what can you do? But the problem this has caused is that Red Bull and AlphaTauri are now without an engine supplier for the 2022 season, which, considering it's an entirely new set of regulations, it will be quite an important year. Mercedes already supply 4 teams, Ferrari already supply 3, Mercedes supply, well, themselves as Alpine, but Red Bull and Renault have history, and I'm assuming that they don't want to go back to being with each other again, if they can avoid it. So the biggest rumours were that in some way Red Bull would take over Honda's engine development. And as of right now, Red Bull have been saying that this will only be possible if F1 implement an engine freeze very soon. Yesterday, Amos in Germany reported that tomorrow, February 11th, the F1 Commission will be voting on whether or not to implement an engine freeze after the end of the 2022 season, with new engine regulations entirely coming in for 2025. Which is 1 year earlier than they were supposed to be coming in. This should mean that Red Bull are just able to take the existing Honda intellectual property and keep pushing forward with that engine for the next few years, meaning that they only really have to put in 1 extra year's worth of work. This is good news for Red Bull. It's good news for AlphaTauri. Probably. It's less good news if you're Ferrari, who currently will see for 2021, but their 2020 engine was garbage. It was horrible. It didn't work. So if they end up getting stuck with something like that, that's going to impact them more if the engine development is frozen. Supposedly, if there is a greater than 2% difference in performance, they will be allowed to bring some development and improve it just to catch up. And this is true for every engine supplier. But it really depends on how that shakes out. I mean, hell, Ferrari could bring a really fast engine this year, and it's Mercedes that need to catch up. I think that's a Tifoso pipe dream, though. Now, furthermore, Autosport have reported that Ferrari are apparently looking into, and let me quote this, a radical new engine concept, which, if you are a Ferrari fan, are probably some of the most worrying words you could possibly hear. It's like when they announced this year that the codename for 2021's engine was super fast. I mean, it's just setting yourself up for failure. Quoting from Autosport again, according to sources, Ferrari is willing to take a risk on its new engine. On an innovative engine design, which if it works, could prove to be a game changer in the sport. The words that worry me there are, if it works. Because it might not work, and if it doesn't work, Ferrari are just fucked, aren't they? But don't worry, even if Ferrari end up being completely fucked, it's possible that by 2025 we'll have a new brand in the sport. Rumours are that a Volkswagen brand is looking into joining. Rumours seem to be that it was going to be Porsche, but now it's Audi, and what's very confusing, to me at least, about that, is that Volkswagen also own a little brand called Lamborghini. Porsche are well known in racing. They have incredible GT heritage primarily, but also prototype heritage. Audi, best known for their prototypes, their rally cars, that kind of thing. Lamborghini have GT cars, of course, but they have F1 history. They're the only Volkswagen Group brand to have F1 history. And if you are trying to promote Porsche and Audi as these clean, forward-looking, environmentally friendly electric vehicle brands for the future, why would you try and get them involved in F1? To me it seems obvious that you'd take in your grandfathered brand You know, your Lamborghini, who was so old school they started off making tractors. Actually, so did Porsche. That's not a great point. But aside from Mercedes, the big car brands that are in F1 right now are McLaren, Ferrari, and Aston Martin. The brand that fits in with that lineup is Lamborghini. It's not Audi. To me, it just seems like the same thing will happen that happened in Formula E. You have too many similar brands. In Formula E, you had BMW, Audi, Porsche, and Mercedes, and Audi have ended up leaving. Because when every single one of your market sector competitors is in the same sport, doing basically as well as you, or better, then it's not exactly a great marketing exercise to continue being there. And it feels like if you're Audi, why would you take the risk going up against Mercedes and losing? It's not like Mercedes is some crappy midfield team. They're Mercedes. So if I was in charge of Vag, I really don't want to put that on the internet. It's just not a clip that I want people to see. So if I was in charge of Volkswagen AG, the brand I would put all of that effort towards is Lamborghini. Put them in F1. They're a perfect fit for F1. Why would you waste money on the Audi? Or a Porsche? Especially if they're not going to field an entry, and are instead just going to be an engine supplier, which is very possible for 2025. Lamborghini have been an engine supplier. They were a fairly good one, although not for very long. So it's looking like in the coming years there's going to be a big shake-up of engines in Formula 1. And like always in Formula 1, it means that we're just continuing to teeter on the edge of survival. Honda are leaving, Red Bull are taking over their own engine supplying, for now. But they change engine suppliers like most people change shoes, so I'm sure that won't last very long, and maybe they'll become Audi-powered, or Porsche-powered, or Lamborghini-powered. Or Scania-powered, Ducati-powered, Seat-powered, Skoda-powered, MAN-powered, Bugatti-powered. That'd work. But who knows? This seems to happen every economic crisis, and those seem to be happening more often. I'm hopeful it'll all work out. I mean, it's always worked out so far, but that's no guarantee that that will keep happening, I guess. So, here's to another 70 years, but in the meantime, here's to another 5. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough about engine suppliers for one day, so thank you so very much for watching. Remember to leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you're new here, leave a comment telling me why I'm being an idiot. Channel's small, so I will respond to literally everyone that comments. And again, shout out to the F1 Discord, the link for that is in the description, for talking this through with me and all of the previous conversations I've ever had in there, because it's very fun. You should check it out. See ya!